guys, it's your boy OG Ragro. I'm back, and I want to give you my first impressions after running it, giving it a full run down at Bell's Isle, and my first impressions of the Cross RC JT6 6-wheel drive. Let me grab it here. And I did one full run down Belle Isle. Let me tell you one thing about Belle Isle. If you have any weaknesses in your truck, it will expose it, and you'll end up taking that walk of shame back to your vehicle. But anyway, this one made it. Took a couple of big falls from about 2 feet up. Show you the undercarriage. And I did end up running this stop and brush system. And of course, like I said, it needed to be upgraded. It was real jerky, kind of unpredictable. Especially when climbing, you always got to throttle through. I never really set the drag brake, so I had to use brakes, which was tap and double tap to reverse. But as you can see, there's not a lot of real damage on the bottom of it. I mean, the front end, you know, scraped across the bottom of some rocks. But this remote, I mean, it works. It's not the remote that I've been seeing. It looks like it comes with the JT6, but it works. You got throttle, reverse, or brake in this case, and then reverse. Then this is for the 2-speed, and then this is for the diffs. It'll light up blue. One thing I did like about this, you can run it with 2S. I didn't even know that, but see, I got a 2S battery pack in there. And I don't know if you can see in there, but just unplug a JT plug and plug in your battery pack. I got a 2S. I don't know if it can do bigger, but it generally take 4 AA batteries. Now, I do have some upgrades that did come in the mail. They was a little late, nevertheless, but they came. And for one, you know, I'll be getting rid of this, putting it on one of my RadioLinks, probably my RC6 6-channel. This is the SE. I didn't go with the 2300 Pro. And I got alloy front axle from Cross RC. Now, it's about 150 bucks to the door. And they said it was a complete axle. So I'm thinking it at least had the, you know, the ends on it, which I saw in the picture. But I had no idea that they meant complete front axle. I mean, the only thing I have to do is literally bolt this one in. It has brass link mounts and shock mounts, brass diff cover, and I'm not sure, but it's metal outers, but I'm not sure if they're brass or not. Same thing for the inners. They look, and it's heavy. It is heavy. Matter of fact, I'll go get a scale so we can weigh it. Now this thing weighing in at 468 grams. This is crazy. This is a little over a pound. Now, I'm not going to really show you the installation of these things because this is the first Cross RC I ever had, so I'm going to have to walk myself through all this, and I don't want to take it. All right, we got it pretty much disassembled. I took the bed off. I've been actually thinking about running this thing without the bed just to see how it performs, but I do see how the bed protects a lot of, especially this rear servo back here. I don't know how good of an idea it is to have a servo back here. But I'll be looking into upgrading these anyway, so I might wait today. Give me a problem. But anyway, I'm going to remove this battery tray and should have access to the battery. It looked like I could just remove the front servo, the steering servo, and then maybe pull some screws out and hopefully just pull it back, put the new one in, and take these wheels off, which I love them wheels, by the way. I don't know if you can see down in there, but them things are nice. And there we go. This is a 550. Right. And we got that pinion switched over. And I don't know if you can tell, but the shafts was about the same size, so I was able to just put it about the same way it was on there. Actually, look, one thing I want to say is a little different. This plastic insert, this inserts inside of that's the transmission housing, and then you have to get the 2 motor mount screws through this and then into the motor. I mean, it ain't a big deal, but I never dealt with it. And I'll just set the mesh, and this motor, guys, and this motor is installed. Only thing I have to do left to do is mount the button down somewhere. I'll wait till I get this front end installed, and you can see I already disconnected the linkage from there, which was super easy. Just remove this set screw, or loosen this set screw on this collar, the rubber bushing, and it all just slide off the cable, and just pulled it through. And that's the end of the cable of the stock front end. And when I go to install the other front end, I mean, that front end has the cable on it and everything whenever I find it. But anyway, see you in a few. I'm gonna remove these wheels and start disconnecting links. All right, now I got that front end out. This is the stock. I hate the way these turn it real tight. But as I took this thing apart, I could really tell the quality of everything, and it is awesome. The screws, I don't know who all the other companies use for their screws to strip out so easy, but these screws are, they gotta be stainless steel, just black. But they are in super tight. I think I could have ran this thing forever without really having any like screws backing out. But anyway, let's get a weight of the axles. Now I'm assuming this truss here is not going to be able to go over because there's no holes here, or no studs, no way to mount it. And I'm assuming it won't be needed because it looked like everything just threaded in. But anyway, that is 213 grams, which is, that's almost a half a pound, about 8 ounces. And once again, this is 470 grams, so this weighs more than twice the amount of the front one. Should perform pretty well. And see how loose those are? And they're not loose, they're just metal to metal, so everything kind of rotates pretty good. There's little brass bushings in there with it. And this is just, takes so much power for the servo to move. And also, I heard a guy say that the servo that comes in this thing is awesome. And it's enough. But I need something that can wiggle the back of the truck if I needed to. And that's not it. But it's good enough to play with. But anyway, get this front axle installed and we'll be almost finished. Also wanted to let you know about two little snags I hit. One, the upper control arm, the upper control link for the front end. That wouldn't, the ball wouldn't fit in between the space where it mounts. So I had to take my file and swipe up and down it literally like 3 times on each side, slipped right in. Tolerances of everything is awesome. Everything fit, no wiggle. And the second one is, this front end came with a long diff lock cable. I mean super long, much longer than the stock one. So I don't know if you can tell how much longer it is, but it sits down there like this, so I should only have like this much hanging up, coming up through here. But instead I got probably 3 times the amount. So instead of just cutting it all off, I'll just lay it down and mount it underneath the battery tray. And I had to take some of the outer coating off for this protective part around the actual cable. But once I removed that, I was able to get it to lock down in there and perfect endpoints. All right, got her back buttoned up. Got her back, all the endpoints adjusted. That took me a couple of minutes to get that the diff lock adjusted for both of them to line up right. Had to adjust that collar, but we finally got her back together. And got that axle in there, and it is so much heavier in the front. It's about at least a half a pound heavier. And that's without a battery. Batteries in the front also. I wasn't planning on doing this so soon, but I got rid of this remote, which wasn't bad. Like I said, it worked fine. Didn't have any issues. Just didn't like the feel of it. And this is 2S capable, but I like running it on my big boy 3S's on my RadioLinks. I just knew that this receiver, which looks so much like the RadioLink receiver, so much like it. It even programs the same way, but it wouldn't link up to the RC/GS 4. I didn't try it with the 6, but it didn't link up with the 4. Probably wouldn't have linked up with the 6. But yeah, got that out of there. Took that 3S out. And also I ripped that ESC and motor brushed combo out of there and got that Hobbywing Frusion SE 1800 kV. I think got some wheel speed on it too. But and I programmed it with this old school Hobbywing program card. Worked great. Yeah, alright guys, next time you guys see this thing, she'll be at Belle Isle down on the rocks. Again, with all the new upgrades. See you then.